Hi guys, I'm back. I survived the hurricane after, I don't know, 5-6 days of nothing but watching the news and eating the hurricane snacks and making ephemera. I have a pile of ephemera about as big as my table that I sat in my chair and cut out and inked up while I watched the news roll by. But I also was able to get 2 journals done. And I was gonna name these Hurricane Dorian journals, but I think we'll just leave them be for now. So I'm gonna show you guys these journals, and then I'm gonna talk a little bit about some of the ephemera that you'll see in these, and some that I am obsessed with using right now, and hopefully in my free time, which is kind of hard to find these days, I want to do a video and just kind of chat with you guys and use some different things to make some ephemera. So these 2 guys are smaller than my average, 8 3/4 by 5 3/4 journals, but I also used wallpaper to cover them. And I know some of you know recently that I had got my hands on a whole bunch of wallpaper, and I thought I'd try covering some journals, and it worked wonderfully. So let's get into the first one. So here's the front, and I wish I could copy this, because the books are just cool. There's the spine. Here's the back of this one, and this one measures 6 3/4 tall, 6 inches wide. It's got a 2-inch spine with 192 pages. There's a little charm there, you'll see when we get on the inside, and it's got some white sari for the closure. Make sure I'm in frame here. Never fails. I can't tell you how many times I've made a video, went back and checked, and the book was barely in frame. So on the inside, pocket in the front, just with a little bit of a stamp and a number code. There's a library card, and this is from the old design shop. And again, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys some of the sheets and tell you where to get some of the goodies and ephemera that I have in here. And there's some vintage trim and one of the Tim Holtz pins there. This is some vintage ledger page that I have from 1873. Here is one of the things that I made many of sitting in my chair over the weekend. It's an itty bitty bird envelope, and then inside is the teeny tiniest little library card. And again, I'll talk about where I got these, and a lot of the things that you're gonna see I shrunk down and made some minis. I guess that's a whole nother video if you're not into Photoshop. But here's a vintage book page. This is a digital page that I printed on some really beautiful light parchment. There's a little pocket here with 2 more mini library cards, some mulberry paper. And I tried to leave a lot of blank space in here. I told myself when I was making these 2 that I wasn't going to stuff them full of ephemera, that I was going to put envelopes of ephemera with them, and I can't not. So the ephemera's in here. And there's a little definition there. Some more parchment. Here's another piece of that vintage ledger. Some tea-stained paper. This is a really old math book that I have. These are some fun, I want to call them address cards. Hang on. Vintage post office cards. And most of the ephemera that you guys are seeing comes from the old design shop. Here's a vintage receipt. There's a pocket I made with a library card and a little advertisement piece, and there's stamping and sewing and all of the usual things. The other side of the receipt. I love these lightly lined pages with the floral images. There's a little tuck there. The other side of the ledger. Old geography book page. Here is another one of the little bird envelopes, and inside this one is a library card and a flinch card. Again, I will show you those, where I got those at the end, the old design shop, but I want to show you guys the full sheets. Here's some vintage music paper, some more of the lined. This is some gorgeous mulberry paper. Here is a envelope that I've made to look bold. There's another pocket here with some goodies tucked in, with some old stamps and stamping on it. Some trim on that page, and this pocket's got goodies in it. There's a little definition card, and the post office card, and a library card. I'm telling you guys, I went crazy sitting in my chair watching the news. This is a vintage book. Some more tea-stained paper. This is some tissue. Another ledger page. Another ledger page from 1891. Here's a book page that's got a little silver charm on it that says, I think it says Once Upon a Time. Yeah, Once Upon a Time on it. This is one of the rice paper napkins. I love these. I just took the pinking shears around the edge of that. And another book page pocket with some ledger and a postage stamp. And then a grungy library card, flash card, and a flinch card. So these were fun. It helped me, oh, there's a little key, helped me keep my mind off the hurricane a little bit. Glad it's over. We survived nicely, just a lot of wind and rain for us. So this is just a digital image I printed out on some tracing paper, and just another little journaling card. There's some more sewing there. Another book page pocket with some Tim Holtz ephemera. Beautiful light green paper with leaves on it. Tuck that in there. Book page. This is a digital image of some vintage monies that I have. The other side of that receipt, and the other side of the monies. And in this pocket is just a little journaling tag, and this beautiful rose image, another one from the old design shop. And if you guys are looking for any of Julie's things from the old design shop, remember she has an Etsy shop where her digitals are sold, and she also has a blog where you can go find free things, and both of those links are in my description below. I am on her design team. This is just some ledger that I ruffled up and sewed and put a little stamp on. There's some more of the line. Here's a piece of mulberry sewn on to the edge of that page. There's a dictionary page. This is a really wide ledger sheet that I tea stained. Some more dictionary, another old ledger. This is some tracing paper that I printed on, and I just put it on with a couple of brads. And here is the back with my stamp, and another pocket with one more flash card and library card in this music sheet pocket. And a little bit of sewing there. And in the back pocket, this is a piece of butterfly journaling card and a little Ex Libris plate. So there's the first one. And let's get on to the littler one. So here is the front. Again, let me make sure I'm in frame. I moved. And here's the spine on this one and the back. And this one measures 6 3/4 tall, 4 inches wide. It has 1 1/4 inch spine with 164 pages. And these will go in the Etsy shop. If the video's up, they're in the Etsy shop. So there's that. All right, in the front is a library card and my business card. Of course. A little Prima butterfly. There's some sewn on fabric here with a little rusty safety pin. And this one's got some, this is Prima paper on the front and back covers. And then this was a digi, so it's a lot of pale pinks. And a little pocket with some little goodies in there. And then here is that same Once Upon a Time little book charm. Tea stain paper, some more of the parchment, vintage ledger, some washi, and here's a piece of the tracing paper that I printed on to make a little flip. The other side of the ledger. I like to kind of, on these small books, leave a lot of blank space because they're not as big. So here's one of my collage tags, and I have, for the first time, used, these are, oh bugger. They're like hiking boot clips. I'll have to remember the politically correct name of them. That's what they look like. And my friend Susan, she used one on a tag and I fell in love with it. So that's what that is. Still trying to find the right way to crimp it down. I tried my chomper and it, you know, of course it left a mark. I don't know, maybe just a hammer. We'll see. There's a little definition card. Sorry for the rambling today. Vintage book page. Some more old ledger. There's a little bit of, a little tiny piece of ledger sewn on there. Some mulberry paper. Some more of the lined pages. Tea stained. Ledger. Book page. There's a little bit of a mulberry scrap that I sewed on there and put one of the little post office cards on. There's a little bit of collage there. And don't forget to check my shop. All my digitals, all 6 of them, I'm working on some, guys. They're 40% off right now. So if you guys want to peek at those. And this page, I made it a flip with a pocket, a book page pocket inside with a library card and a little definition card in there. And then that just flips shut. Some more ledger and tea stained and parchment. Some little rosettes on the bottom of that one. This is another one of those little bird envelopes with the itty bitty library card in it. Just gonna leave that one there. Some more ledger. The rice paper napkin. Here's a little piece of ledger with a little image tucked in there. Some more ledger with a little flip. And that is some of the little embroidered trim. Sorry for the dinging. Some music paper. Another page of a vintage ledger. And some of the tissue. Some more of the pretty lined paper on parchment. And here's the other side of that gorgeous music paper. love it. And some book page, notebook paper, tea stain paper, the other side of the napkin. There's some more ledger sewn on there. Napkin. And this has a double pocket. So there's a little book page with some ledger there and there. And then a library card, definition card, an itty bitty library card, and definition card, and a little bit of stamping on there also. And there's my stamp, and here's the back, little pocket with an ex libris plate and a library card. So there's those two guys. Now let's talk about the ephemera pages real quick. I gotta be quick, my phone's gonna die. Sorry. So like I said, if you go to the Old Design Shop on Etsy, the Old Design Shop is her Etsy shop, and then olddesignshop.com is her blog. Just leave off the. This is what, and this is just one page. Some of these have multiple pages. I'm not quite sure just sitting here, but these are the vintage post office cards. Super cool. So when you saw the little ones, I just shrunk them down. These are aged and shabby library cards. I'm in love with those. Here is a sheet of the flashcards. And here's an example of me shrinking them down. So she has these definition cards, but they're a full sheet, so I've shrunk them down. And then she also has full sheets of these library cards, so I just shrunk those down. And then she just recently put up the flinch cards. So I think there's 2 pages to this set. So in love with those. And then here are the full size. And these are printable library cards roses. So if you have any questions, just reach out to Julie on Etsy. If you have need help with downloads or anything like that. And I'm gonna get these put in the Etsy shop, and then today is Thursday, and you guys should probably look for me to do a live tomorrow, Friday night, and I'm not gonna tell you what it is. It's gonna be a surprise. Okay, so everybody have a great afternoon, great weekend. If you are still in the hurricane's path, please be safe, and I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Bye guys.